They say money brings happiness, but my truth? Money reveals hearts. I'm Evelyn, born in 1965 in Abeokuta, Nigeria. Back in 2022, my only daughter, Ada, won 4.6 billion Nigerian nairas in the lottery and threw me out like yesterday's trash. I felt confusion, betrayal, and shame, but then something happened that changed everything. Today, at 60 and sipping tea in my own little bungalow in Surulere, I'm finally sharing this because no woman should ever suffer in silence over what she rightfully earned. If you're listening, drop your city below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I raised Ada alone. Her father left when she was 2, and from that day on, it was me and her against the world. I worked 3 jobs, catering at events on weekends, cleaning offices at night, and sewing clothes during the day. I sacrificed everything so she could go to school in good shoes and come home to a warm plate. I gave her my strength, my youth, my entire life. When she had her first child, I stepped in as grandma nanny, pausing my tailoring business just to help her build hers. I never once complained, even when she started calling me old school and rolling her eyes anytime I offered advice. Still, I loved her too much to take offense. One hot Wednesday in March 2022, I stopped by the Total filling station near Iyana to buy fuel. The queue was long, but something nudged me to walk into the mini-mart. I grabbed a bottle of malt and saw a small sign near the counter. Mega Lottery 4.6 billion Nigerian nairas jackpot. I chuckled. Who dey win these things, SEF? I whispered to myself, but I still bought 1 ticket. Just 1. I took a picture of it, habit I got from watching too many crime shows, and tucked it into the back pocket of my wrapper. That evening, I stopped by Ada's house to drop off some groceries. I mentioned the ticket casually, even joked about how if I won, I'd finally go to Dubai. Give me the ticket, nah, she laughed. Let me hold it for you before you go and misplace it like your pension papers. I hesitated, but it was just a joke to me then. I didn't even check the numbers when the winning was announced the following week. Not until I saw Ada on TV, wearing a silk jumpsuit, huge designer sunglasses, and being interviewed as Nigeria's newest billionaire winner. I thought it was a prank. Coincidence. But then I saw the date and location of the purchase. March 9th. Total station. I froze. My chest went cold. I called her. Ada, is it true? You won. Silence. Then laughter. Mummy, I beg. Don't come and start all this village behavior. You've started calling already? Money has not even entered and everybody is claiming stake. I didn't know what to say, so I said nothing. I went to her place the next day. The gate didn't open. I stood there in the sun, calling her name like a beggar. The new security man, who I didn't recognize, said she wasn't home. But I could hear her voice inside, laughing with her friends. That weekend she blocked my line. No explanation, no reason. Just cut off. I cried for days. I questioned everything. Had I been a bad mother? Did she really believe I was after her money? All I wanted was the truth. And a little respect. I still had that photo on my phone, the one I took of the lottery ticket. It matched the winning numbers. My hands shook. I dug into my wallet and found the receipt from the filling station. Same timestamp. Same everything. I felt bile rise to my throat. I remembered her exact words. Give me the ticket, nah. I had handed her my fortune, and she had pocketed it with a smile. I wasn't looking for revenge. I was looking for answers. So I went back to the filling station calmly and quietly. I asked if they had security footage from that day. By God's grace, they did. And it showed me walking in, paying at the counter, and walking out with the ticket. By this time, Ada was trending on Instagram, flaunting her new mansion in Lekki, going on luxury trips with friends, calling herself Mama Billions. My phone would ping from family members forwarding screenshots of her tweets. I came from nothing and now I own everything, she'd written. Someone even tagged me in a Facebook comment saying, her poor mama must be proud wherever she is. Wherever she is. I was living in a face me I face you apartment in Mushin, sleeping on a mat, eating beans for dinner. I found a quiet lawyer, an old friend from secondary school who now worked in land disputes. He read everything I had: photo evidence, the timestamp, the security footage. He didn't say much. He just nodded. Let's begin, he said. We filed a report to the Nigerian Lottery Commission. It wasn't flashy. No media coverage. We didn't want to alert Ada yet. Let her continue painting the town red. The investigation took weeks. Meanwhile, I watched Ada's social media like a hawk. She called me toxic in a TikTok live, saying she had cut off leeches from her life. Her friends made jokes about African parents who think they're entitled. People cheered in the comments. I cried myself to sleep more than once. But I documented everything: screenshots, recordings, texts. I wasn't going to let my pain go in vain. One evening in late May I got the call. Madam Evelyn, the man from the commission said, your evidence checks out. The winnings are being frozen pending final resolution. I didn't scream. I didn't shout. I simply sat on the floor, staring at my wall clock for hours. The next day all her cards stopped working. Her house rented in cash was flagged. Her Bentley seized. Her phone line? Off. I didn't have to say a word. The system spoke for me. That same week, she appeared at my doorstep. No make-up, no lashes, no designer bag. Just Ada. Angry, shaking eyes filled with tears. Mummy, why would you do this to me? Do you want me to suffer? I looked at her. Really looked at her. Do I want you to suffer? After everything you did to me. You said I could hold the ticket, she snapped. And then you shut me out, I said quietly. Blocked me. Lit. Paraded yourself while letting strangers mock your own mother. She broke down right there on my doorstep, knees hitting concrete, sobbing like a baby. I didn't know what came over me. I just wanted to feel important. I almost forgave her right then. Almost. But forgiveness isn't the same as forgetting. I gave my lawyer instructions. Once the funds were released, I donated 2.3 billion Nigerian nairas to women's shelters, rural widows, and young mothers who had no one to lean on, just like I once was. I used another portion to open a free skills acquisition center for low-income girls in Lagos. I bought a modest bungalow for myself. Quiet. Peaceful. When the press tried to spin it into a mother-daughter reunion story, I simply said, no comment. Ada begged. She texted. Wrote long emails. As for therapy, I replied only once. When you learn that family is not a stepping stone but a shelter, maybe we'll talk. And then I blocked her. The house I live in now isn't fancy, but it holds something I never had before: peace. Every morning I water my small garden, brew a cup of ginger tea, and sit outside watching the neighborhood kids play. No more sirens. No more hunger. No more begging for anyone's time or respect. But I didn't arrive here overnight. The months after I reclaimed my winnings were a strange kind of storm, quiet, but powerful. Journalists camped outside my gate. Some even tried pretending they were from churches or NGOs just to sneak a peek. I ignored them all. I wasn't a spectacle. I was a mother. A wounded one. Ada's friends vanished like mist. The same girls who called me a burden online were nowhere to be found. No reposts. No sympathy. Just silence. Funny how quiet the world gets when money leaves the room. She tried coming by again, this time in a taxi, wearing jeans and a plain shirt. She waited outside the gate for 2 hours. I watched from my window. I never came out. You see, people think revenge is loud, that it's yelling, fighting, slamming doors. No. Real revenge? It's dignity. It's the power to speak, but choosing silence. It's reclaiming your narrative when others tried to erase you. Eventually, she stopped showing up. I heard through a distant cousin that she moved to Port Harcourt, trying to start over. I wish her healing truly. But from a distance, I started rebuilding not just my life but my spirit. I traveled to Enugu to visit the family house I once grew up in. It was run down, overgrown with weeds. But I walked through the rooms, touching old walls, whispering to the ghosts of my past. Look at me now. I made it. The most surprising thing was how many women started reaching out to me. Women from Ilorin, from Calabar, from even as far as Uganda. They'd heard whispers of my story, even though I never did an interview. One wrote, "You don't know me, Ma, but your silence gave me strength to leave my abusive in-laws." I began writing. Not for fame, just to heal. I wrote journals, poems, letters to myself. I joined a community center for older women, and every Wednesday, I taught sewing and life skills to girls who had been abandoned by their families. One girl, Blessing, reminded me so much of Ada, sharp-tongued but soft inside. She asked me once, "Mama, do you hate your daughter now?" I paused. The room went quiet. "No," I said softly. "I hate what money did to her. But deep inside, I pray she finds herself again." Blessing blinked, then whispered, "You're stronger than most." Maybe. Or maybe I was just tired of carrying bitterness. That December, I hosted a Christmas party at the Skills Center. We cooked, danced, and gave away little gift bags. As I stood under the lights, watching all these women laugh freely, I felt something I hadn't in years: purpose. Not just survival. Joy. Then came a letter. Not from Ada, but from the Lottery Commission. They wanted to feature me in a Story of Integrity campaign. Said they'd donate in my name to a cause of my choice. I refused the camera part, but accepted the donation. 50 million Nigerian nairas went straight to orphanages and women's shelters across Nigeria. Still, I made one quiet appearance anonymously on a podcast for survivors of family betrayal. I used a fake name, but the message was mine. Sometimes the people we love most are the ones who break us. But that doesn't mean we stay broken. That episode went viral. Hundreds of comments. One read, "This woman gave me the courage to reclaim my stolen inheritance." Another said, "Now I know I'm not alone. See, the pain I endured wasn't wasted. It birthed healing not just for me but for others." I started offering quiet consultations to women in similar situations. Not as a lawyer, just as a listener. My tiny living room became a haven. We'd share tea, laughter, and sometimes tears. I saw how many women had been tricked, silenced, erased. And I promised myself I would never let silence be my prison again. One day in late 2023, I got an anonymous delivery. A plain white box. Inside was a gold bangle engraved with the words, "I'm sorry." No note. No name. But I knew. It was from Ada. I held the bangle in my palm for a long time. My first instinct was to throw it away. But something stopped me. Not forgiveness, no. But understanding. She was trying. In her own clumsy way. I placed it on my shelf beside my old sewing machine and a picture of me holding baby Ada in 1992. A reminder of what was lost, of what was still left. I didn't wear it, but I didn't throw it away either. Some days I still ache. Especially when I hear mothers and daughters laughing together in markets or see family photos online. But I've come to accept that love isn't always returned the way you give it. Still, I gave it anyway. And now I give it to those who truly need it. That's where my joy lies now. In rebuilding what's honest. In healing what's broken. Not in diamonds or cars. But in legacy, today I live simply but fully. I read books. I mentor girls. I take long walks in the evening and greet every neighbor with a smile. I don't need flashy clothes or international vacations. My soul has traveled farther than any passport ever could. When people ask if I'd ever reconcile with Ada, I smile gently and say, maybe one day. But not today. You see, peace doesn't mean forgetting what hurt you. It means no longer allowing it to define you. So to every woman listening, if you've been betrayed, cast aside, or made to feel small in a world you helped build, hear me. You are not invisible. You are not crazy. And you are not alone. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. And comment below, what would you do if someone stole your blessing and wore it like their crown? Moral: sometimes the ones you raise are the ones who raise you. But even then, healing is yours to choose. Quiet power is still power.